Let's pop the top.
Welcome back to Drunk Wives Club.
We're here again, recording with the creepy churches in the background because it's a Sunday
It is a Sunday.
and we haven't been here in a couple weeks because life just got crazy. The last time we recorded was October 18th and it is November 12th.
Yeah, but this episode will be coming out the week of the 27th.
Yeah, so we thought we could talk about holidays with your in-laws, which is always one of my favorite topics to talk about.
Always. I love it. Nothing could go wrong about talking about this topic either.
Yeah.
And also, we hope that everyone had a great Thanksgiving because this will be coming out a few days after.
That's true. I hope everybody went out for Thanksgiving Eve and was responsible.
I don't think those two things happen. You either go out or you're responsible.
Well, are you going to go out for Thanksgiving Eve?
Hard no on that.
Oh, so
Are you?
Well, my brother was supposed to come up for, is he jumping on? We're recording with dogs right now, so there's probably some background noise. But Blair was supposed to come up for Halloween and he decided he didn't want to, so he traded Halloween night for Thanksgiving Eve.
Oh.
Which is very risky because I don't even really want to go out for Thanksgiving Eve.
We don't like that many people to go out at that time.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna go to Tom's. Oh yeah. Okay, so we had to take a moment to pause because my dogs are not well behaved. So, okay, yes, we're going out for Thanksgiving Eve, and
which is shocking.
Yeah, and I know
when was the last time you've gone out for Thanksgiving Eve?
At least 5 years.
Nuh-uh.
I think like out, I would say. I think the last time we were out was in Phoenixville.
Wow.
And I'm just not a big fan of Phoenixville on a holiday or a weekend anymore because it's too busy.
And yeah, people that don't know, that's just like a town in our area.
Yeah.
That people go out in because there's like bars and breweries.
And I don't like waiting for drinks. I don't like seeing people we went to high school with.
That's like my main reason.
Yeah.
Not that I like don't like them. It's just I'm still always like Scott's sister, regardless of
That's true.
Yeah. It's just not how I would want to spend my night anymore. I think like I did it, I don't even know. It was like a while ago. Mark hates that day, by the way.
Thanksgiving Eve?
Yeah, so he like won't go out. One of the last times I can remember going out for it was, again, I don't even know what year this was. Obviously it was before the pandemic. So again, probably like 4 or 5 years. And I went with my cousin and her now husband. And that was it. And I saw so many people. And that's just not how I want to spend my time. I totally get the appeal. I think it's like actually a really cool concept, like especially for people that aren't like don't live at home but come home like for Thanksgiving.
Like if we lived in another state.
Yeah, I think that it's like I think it's a really cool concept. It's just not how at this point in my life I want to spend it. Like I would rather spend it how I would want to spend like a Friday night or a Saturday night, like at a brewery or at like a local bar. But even local bars, because it's the day before Thanksgiving, are crazy. I actually went to Harry's, now that I think about it, the first, so 2020 was the last time, because I went the day before Thanksgiving.
At night?
Yeah, it was like, but it was like after work. So it was, and we got out like early. And I went with Mark, and because it was COVID, we actually, because you could have only had a certain amount of people inside. There were no tables inside. So they actually put some tables outside. So Mark and I had like a beer, 2 beers, and then we're home by like 7:30.
Not going out on Thanksgiving Eve.
But it is because no, it was at the time because they sent, I don't know if you remember this, but they sent a whole message that people had to like stop giving like
I remember
selling alcohol at like 9 p.m.
I remember that. 'Cause
So I
was
think
at
we were
Red
there
Robin.
until 8 and we were like, well, we wouldn't be able to stay out much
Yeah,
later
what
anyway.
else would you
So I
do?
think that was the last time we've been out for Thanksgiving Eve.
Yeah, I'll do it because
Hear you.
yeah, because it's me. But the whole concept of it, I don't love because
I like the concept. I just
Yeah.
don't want to do it.
I just think it's too risky unless you have a designated driver, which my mom is going to be our DD this year.
Oh, yeah. Mark is my DD because he won't go out.
Yeah.
Or
even
sometimes he'll go
Ubers-
out, but he won't drink.
Yeah, Ubers are too expensive.
gosh.
And like I feel like cops just wait for people to be an idiot, which
Yeah,
I
you should.
would.
That's like a time you really should never have.
Yeah. So I think we're just gonna go to Tom's, but I feel like our time limit will be 11 p.m. or earlier.
I
At
think
least I
that's
hope.
good. And then do you know why? Because I can't wait to recap after to see if you did this, because again, people will be listening to this after Thanksgiving. But do you remember in our second episode when you said that you drink wine on your couch to watch the parade?
Yes, I do, and I hope I will, and I hope it is
Do you
actually
have time carved out for that?
Well, yeah, I plan on it being my hair of the dog moment if I'm hungover, and if I'm not, it will just be
Happy
my
surprise.
morning pick me up. You remember when I said I don't support drinking at 8 a.m. unless it's a holiday,
I know.
but it will be fun. I feel like Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday.
Really?
Yeah, because I love eating and I love
I
drinking
don't
wine.
know. Okay, so what are your favorite like dishes for Thanksgiving?
Ooh, I'm not a big turkey person.
That's so funny. Everyone that like loves Thanksgiving doesn't really like turkey.
Yeah, I'm a big stuffing person. I love sweet potatoes. I love
Mhm.
anything with starches. I just don't love the turkey aspect. But a couple years ago, we started frying our turkey,
Oh,
which is way better because everything's better fried. But still, I just don't love turkey. I really only eat turkey once a year, and that's Thanksgiving.
really?
I never eat turkey throughout the
Oh,
year.
I eat turkey a lot.
Like turkey sandwiches or like
Yeah.
actual turkey.
Yeah, probably just turkey sandwiches.
That's still turkey though.
Yeah, yeah. I like pineapple stuffing. Have you ever had pineapple stuffing?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's great.
You know what I'm surprised we've never done? A Friendsgiving.
I've been a part of some of them, but they're like Mark's friends or
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of planning. And I wouldn't know who's gonna make the turkey.
the last time I was at one, I was pregnant. So that was
Oh,
that
well,
was no good.
at least you got to eat all the stuff.
And I couldn't tell anyone I was pregnant because it was only like a couple weeks.
Were people asking why you weren't drinking?
No, because I don't know if I actually like said this story before, but okay, what day is it? The 11th? Isn't today the 11th? No,
I think
it's the
it's the 12th.
12th.
Nobody
So,
knows.
I don't know, but I found out 2 years ago yesterday that I was pregnant.
2 years already?
Yeah, it's crazy. And so it was right before my cousin's wedding, the day before, and that's how I know because her wedding anniversary is today. And I found out the day before, and then it was the holidays, like 2 weeks later. But I was like not very far along, so I didn't tell anybody. So I had that. I had like the wedding. I had that's Friendsgiving. I had Thanksgiving in general. And then I had like all these things for the holidays. It was really a hard time, but I was telling people that I wasn't drinking because we were going to Disney in January. And I was like,
you
yeah.
swindled me.
And I was like, and I told everyone this, and I really feel like I convinced a lot of people. And I just said, I have been drinking a lot, which was not a lie.
True.
And I was like, I just think like my body needs a break.
That's a long break.
And so because obviously around the holidays, like you see friends that again come home or come to where they're from. You just go out because I don't know, it just seems
it's a holiday.
Yeah, it just
and
like
it's a lot of social events.
like a lot of social events. So it was a lot, but I was like, yeah, I just know that I would really be drinking like a lot, and I just think I'm going to be drinking a lot in Disney, so I'm just not drinking until we go to Disney, because at that point when I got back from Disney would have been the time I was like comfortable telling people. So it all
Okay.
worked out, but a lot of people believed me, and then I had like our work holiday party, and pretty much like everyone knew then, because I didn't drink at the work holiday party, which
That's
is,
always a red flag.
yeah. And I said the same thing, and some people were like really nice. I remember what my one guy friend was like, "Oh, congratulations." And I'm like, "I'm not pregnant." And I was like, "I am pregnant."
Actually, I am.
Yeah. I was like, I am. So I don't remember why I was telling that story. I
I
forget.
don't remember why we started with that.
I forget.
We were talking about Thanksgiving, and 2 years ago, that's when you found out you were pregnant.
Yeah. And just
Ooh,
though,
I just
like
can't
just drinking
believe-
a lot during the holidays.
Yeah, it's always a social event or to work thing.
I
and
actually
it's
want to
trendy.
kind of do the same thing. I was just telling some of my work friends this week, like I kind of want to cut back on drinking around the holidays.
How about we just wait till January?
Because I mean, that was too logical for me. Too logical for me. No, I do think I'm gonna try, obviously, with the exception of if we record during the week, but like we have talked about this also, like I am the person who, like, I'll just have like a high noon or a glass of wine or something like that after work, like every once in a while, and that's what I'm trying to cut out. But if it's
Yeah.
like a social event, and I just mean because there's so many social events for like the last 6 weeks of the year, like that's why I'm trying to cut back, because it's just like a lot of them.
I know.
So
I feel like I need a cleanse. I try not to drink during the week, but then sometimes you just come home and you're like, ooh, that glass of wine sounds really good right now.
I know.
And I've
It's
been
like screams at you. It
It
does.
does. It makes you
does.
drink it. And I've been falling asleep unusually early lately. Like I'm
You're
dead by
usually,
8:30.
I was gonna say, usually you're pretty early to begin with.
Yeah. So I don't know. But I'm excited for Thanksgiving. And ever since Anthony and I have been together, we do Thanksgiving here and Christmas because
Oh, we're getting into it.
I know I can't leave my parents. I cannot leave my bubble of what I've known for my whole life. But
So how does that work? Like, how does
we do Thanksgiving and Christmas here, and then we usually leave the day after Christmas and spend that whole week and New Year's with his family.
and his family like does not care that they're never there for?
Yeah, because they usually have a pretty small celebration too, and then basically we just have Christmas the day after Christmas with them.
And that's always been fine.
Mhm. Yeah, because if I wasn't here for Thanksgiving or Christmas, then my brother sometimes comes, but it's not always guaranteed. So I always feel bad because I don't want to leave my parents alone.
Okay, so
Yeah.
sometimes he will split his holidays with Mallory's family.
And
Okay.
now they're gonna kind of do what we do now and do Thanksgiving here, but they're not gonna do Christmas at all here. They're just gonna do Christmas down there.
And then will they see your parents when you're away then?
Probably. And my
Okay.
parents will probably drive down there to see them, but it just always worked out that way.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Well,
we'll
yeah,
ever switch
that'll
it.
be nice, because if they drive down there, then that is fine because you won't be here anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's not a lot going on up here for New Year's, I feel like, and at least in Pensacola, they do like big things downtown and it's warm out. And that's
Well,
the
yeah,
time
that's a huge
when I need a
difference.
tan. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a
it's
huge
just
difference.
always worked out. And it's easy too.
Yeah, it's so funny because I would just like to say that Jess suggested this topic, and then she was like, "It's easy peasy." That's great.
It's great. I mean, I know.
I've never had any issues with this before. Okay, so let's talk about before Anthony. Was that ever a thing? Did you ever do holidays like before with other people? Or were you like, nah?
I always did holidays with my family.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never really split it up. Like if it was Thanksgiving, we would be at my parents' house and we would go to their family's house.
And you had
in that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in that type of way. But I never like just didn't go to my parents' house at all for
So sometimes you would split like the day.
the day. Yeah.
Okay, so that's something different than what
Yeah.
you do now.
And I guess the only difference now is we host it, which
You
don't get
host-
it twisted. I do not cook anything. I just provide the alcohol and the great ambiance and personality to get everybody through the day. But that's
Wow. So
but
lovable of you. I am the best, and people come here.
yeah,
to
they
see
just
me
come
on
here.
Thanksgiving.
I help my mom cook, but
Does she cook here?
Yeah, she basically prepares
We're
everything
at Jess's house,
and
so
then
that's what I
brings
said
it here and helps because their house would be way too small for all of us. What the hell? Oh my God, my fucking cat just attacked me. But yeah, it's pretty fun. It's just a long day. Thanksgiving and holidays in general
So when
are
do
a
you
lot.
eat? Like like on Thanksgiving, when do you eat?
We usually eat at like 2 or 3.
Okay.
So that's why I start drinking at 8 because my mom will show up at like 6 a.m. to start bringing
She
the
comes
food.
here at 6.
Sometimes, yeah,
Oh,
to
that's
start cooking and everything. Which
you sure hope you're not
Yeah.
hungover. That is
I
a
know.
rough
I think she'll
time.
be here at 8 this year though, but I'm usually up early
So-
anyway, so
You'll get a full Peloton ride in
you know,
beforehand.
the 45-minute turkey burn, I'm already preparing for
I knew
it.
you were. I knew you were.
I
I didn't
really-
even know that was a thing, but I knew that they had to have something.
I really wanted to freaking do a turkey trot this year, but nobody will do it with me. Will you?
Do you know, have you ever seen those?
We can walk.
Have you ever seen those like I don't know, I guess like it's like a meme and it's like you're like one of 2 people and it's like one that like runs on holidays and like one that
Oh yeah,
definitely
like you
doesn't.
join a family and one is
Yeah,
into
it's
that
like you
shit,
join a
but
family and yeah, I'm not the one
Oh.
that's gonna do a turkey trot on Thanksgiving, but thank you.
well, if you change
Thank
your
you.
mind, there's one in Pottstown. I already looked it up.
I'm gonna hard no on that.
Hmm.
Like right now, I don't even have to think about it. But thank you so much for asking. It's very nice of you.
Yeah, I know, but I also feel like the holidays can be stressful because getting family together is sometimes awkward. Like my uncle used to be very sexist, and I remember the one year
You just said that so casually.
he passed away, so he was just a great person, but very sexist. And I just always expected a comment on Thanksgiving. And I remember the one year we were all watching football,
This
of
is
course.
brand new information to me, so I am really looped into this as all of our listeners
We were
are.
all watching football, and it was Anthony, my dad, Steve, and my brother. And of course, it was a woman sportscaster saying all this shit about the football game.
Oh my God, do you know who it was?
Who?
No, I'm asking
Oh,
you.
I don't know who it was.
Was it Erin Andrews?
Is she blonde and beautiful?
Yeah,
It was probably her that.
she like knows. Okay, I'm the
But
opposite of sexist.
Steve was like, Jess, you know what? Women should just not be sportscasters because they don't know anything about sports.
Oh,
And I just looked at my dad, and I think he just saw my brain like going 100 miles a minute, trying to think of what to say so I didn't explode. And he's like, how about I refill everybody's glasses of wine? And I was like, saved by the wine bell again.
wow.
But yeah, that's just a type
That's
of
a
shit.
story. That's like the holiday content that I was
Yeah,
expecting you to bring.
That's what happened on our holidays. He said some other stupid shit too. I can't
I
remember
don't
what
think
it
you
was.
need to repeat it. I think that we could probably gather what it would be.
But you know, I was like,
And you kept your mouth shut. That's good for you.
I did.
I definitely would not have been able to do so.
I did.
Happy holidays. You're dead wrong, sir. That's what I would have said. Then I would have gotten a glass of wine, but I would have said something first.
There was that other time that it was what I don't Anthony and I were living together yet. Momo, please go away. And I got really hammered by accident because I started drinking at 8 a.m. And then my mom and I got in a fight, which we never get in a
On
fight.
Thanksgiving?
Yeah. And
This
I left
was a couple of years ago.
I left their
remember
house
this.
and I didn't talk to anybody for like 2 weeks. I just blocked them all.
I remember that.
I forget. I don't remember what we were arguing about.
You were really not sober because I remember
Yeah.
you were actually texting me about that.
Yeah, that was a lot of glasses of wine in. Not
And
my
that's
not my
probably
best
why
moment.
you shouldn't start drinking at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Goes back to that episode where it's like, well, I don't know my limit.
I still don't. But now I feel like I'm responsible-ish that I'm older. That was when I was in my 20s and I was still fun.
No, I really feel like it wasn't that long ago.
It was before Anthony and I got married because it was when we were
Okay.
engaged.
Okay.
But yeah, that was probably 4 years ago.
All right. So like late 20s.
Yeah, before I turned 30. and got my life together.
Yeah, that's not how that works at all. But okay. Yeah.
Momo, please go
I've
away.
been literally petting Jess's dog for probably the last 10 minutes of
Yeah.
recording, which is fine. But in case you see,
Momo, do you want to make a cameo? Don't be ugly.
don't be
Whoa.
ugly.
You are. Okay, Momo, what do you do for the holidays?
Well, so that's a good question. The holidays have always been very stressful for me in the sense of planning with significant others. So previously to Mark, I did the same thing you did. Like I would just try to see like my family no matter what. So even if it was like splitting it up, the one thing that I just like will have not ever changed is that my family, my extended family is pretty big, and we get together for Christmas Eve. That's like our big thing. And so that's like the thing where I like don't bend and haven't. So like I remember I dated somebody and they had something on Christmas Eve because his parents were divorced. And so like his one Christmas like was on Christmas Eve. So we went and then it was like snowing and we drove to like my aunt's house, but we still saw both. And then one year I split like Christmas Day. So I was like with my mom and like brother on Christmas Day morning, and then Christmas night I was like with a different
Different mom.
but again, Mark is kind of unique because he knows my family, so
Yeah, it's
I
easy.
mean he came to family parties before we even dated, like, so it's always been a big thing for me because like I've mentioned before, like my mom is a single mom, so and I only have one sibling, and he's married to somebody who is also single. So it's basically like they always have to pick because one person will be
What is happening in this household today?
one person will like one of the moms will basically have the potential of being by themselves.
Oh, which is
So
heartbreaking.
right. So like the other thing is that my sister-in-law is an only child. So like there is no other.
Yeah, so
So
she
it's
feel like she
basically
has to
like
be with
yeah.
her mom.
So sometimes basically a long story short, like it's evolved and I feel like we have it mostly like figured out, but now it's like gonna be like a little complicated as the years go. But last year, I think it went pretty well. So on Thanksgiving, we were at my brother's house, and it just happens that Mark's parents like don't live around us anymore, but this is the first year that they don't live around us.
Are they coming here for any of the holidays?
That's not true. Wait, did they move? I don't know, but they were here. They were here for Christmas last year, like in our area last year. But Thanksgiving has kind of always been my family because I think it was his family one year, but sometimes they would travel to see Mark's sister because she doesn't live in this area either. And I was like, well, I'm not traveling. So
You want to travel in the holidays?
not particular. Not if I like not if I don't have to.
Yeah.
Especially now, but before, like not if I don't have to. So Thanksgiving was kind of always my family. My brother has had it like a lot of years, so recently. So we go there. And then Christmas was kind of like always split up. So again, Christmas Eve was always my family. Yeah, I know. And then Christmas Day would be like that's when it would get a little different. We started it being like and let's see, so what 2 or 3 of the years that we've been together out of 7 were the pandemic. So that was like also like pretty different. So I think we tried to do, okay, we'll go to Mark's parents in the morning and my mom's, and that was like a lot.
Yeah.
But we would do up until last year, we would go to my mom's first, and then we would go to his family's for the whole rest of the day. So we would like have dinner there. So that was a long day. And then last year, because it was our first year and also my brother's first year as parents, that's like when it changed again. So I think this is probably how it's gonna go, but we haven't really like talked about it. So surprise family if you're listening. But it worked out really well last year. Is that also last year we had everyone for dinner at our house. So we had Mark's parents, my mom, and my brother and sister-in-law and the baby.
That's not bad.
I think. Yeah. So and that worked out like really well. So and then we would go to we went to my mom's the day after Christmas. So that was like the new Christmas at my mom's. So if I had
Scott and Leah too.
So like Christmas morning was with like our own families, and then Christmas night was at our house, and then the next day was with
your mom,
my mom. And then but like Christmas we always tried to see both, which I think if like it's possible before having children, like and they're local and they're both local, like I would try to make it way easier because it's hard, right? Because then it was hard for Mark because his sister doesn't live here. So it was basically like, well, if we're not with my mom, she could be by herself. And if we're not with his parents, like they don't have either of their kids either. So we did really try to strike that balance. But this year, his parents will not be here. So I think it's going to be same thing like Christmas, at least morning, like with our individual families. And then the 26th will probably be like my mom's. And then I don't know what we're going to do for like Christmas night. So I don't know if we're like going to have people over. I'm not sure, but it's like so much planning and it's so stressful. And everyone, pretty much like everybody, obviously not just like, my current in-laws, but it is always like, it's always hard because like they want to see their kids too. So anyone I dated, it was always like something. And honestly, the people that I dated before, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like marry you. So I'm like, you go, you do your thing, I'll do my thing. Like
we'll meet at night.
Yeah.
It's
like
definitely a balancing act.
My thing was like always until I was with Mark, like I really wanted to be with my family and I didn't think that was like anything wrong. So I mean, if you're listening and you're dating someone and you think you're going to marry them, like I'm like an outlier because I do like to have very much my own time, but I really really value my time with my family on the holidays. And so like, if you think that you're going to marry this person, spend the time with your own family while you can, because then when you get married, you'll start like your whole new tradition and you'll probably like have to split.
Yeah. I was going to say it's different for you now too, that you have Brady, like
it's totally different.
The three of you want to be together.
Yeah. It's totally different.
Somebody let the dog in.
It's cold outside.
He's a polar bear. He'll be fine.
We're going to have to make a lot of episodes. So yeah, I think it's hard. It's actually really weird though, because my in-laws care about like every holiday. And that's like that was even a newer like thing for me. Easter and July 4th for some reason. So that they all become conversations. So I think for me, when it would get like, now like we have it totally down, but it was like, by the time we got to Thanksgiving, I'm like, we've already had these stressful conversations and trying to plan things like 3 or 4 times this year so far. So,
and especially if those holidays aren't as big, hopefully it's easier to plan around the requests of people who want to see you on smaller holidays.
Yeah.
I love Easter though.
But I think we just decided, I'm not sure. We like literally yesterday decided that we're gonna go travel to his parents
road trip for
Easter.
That's a long road trip.
It is. Yes.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. I love the holidays though. I love Christmas. It
I love
is
Christmas.
November 12th, and I would like everybody to know that my outside of my house is decorated for Christmas. So we are holly jolly on Bayberry Drive.
Yeah, so I love when I don't remember what we're
I
gonna
don't
talk
know
about.
what
Oh, I know. You mentioned so your house looks so great. It's decorated perfectly, reindeer and all. My follow-up question to this, which is when you told me that you did all of the lights and everything, is that how is Anthony during this process? Because I feel like it's similar to like the lawn situation. And so I just wanted to ask that question.
So last year we attempted to do the lights ourselves, and that was when I learned that Anthony is terribly afraid of heights. And as an engineer, doesn't really know things that an engineer should, like how to install Christmas lights or how to put things together. So I saw him get up on the ladder and immediately his knees started shaking. And I was like, well, this just is not going to work out, is it? So we got the lights up. And anybody who puts up Christmas lights, that shit is hard work. And I did not understand how tedious it is and how time consuming. And then also we put all the lights up, and then I hated it.
You hated it?
We
Why?
didn't get the correct bulbs. So I thought they looked like shit. And then it's like you spent 5 hours doing this crap and then it doesn't even look that good.
I don't remember. I was here, but I don't remember what
It was very
like.
upsetting. Because I hate like doing things for an extended period of time and then it just feels like a waste of time on a Sunday. And
Any
then,
day, but
yeah, that's true.
but
Any day.
But a Sunday actually is probably worse because then you gotta go to work the next day.
So this year we looked up people who install Christmas lights, which technically it's just landscapers in the off season because they needed to fill their
really?
non-cutting grass things. Yeah. So
I thought people that did that would also like snowplow.
yeah, I guess they do it in the winter, like do that.
This
type
is
of
like
shit
the
too.
in-between time, I
Yeah,
guess.
because we just found this company online and then they showed up and did it. And it was actually our old company who used to cut our grass.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, I know who they are. But yeah, they installed it in 2 hours and then they put them all up and they take them all down and then they store them. So
The
then
storing part is key.
they store the lights for you. And then next year they come out and do it again. And it's cheaper because you already bought the lights.
Wow.
So
I love that.
I've become like oddly obsessed with being the best house on the block. And I think that's my age that's getting to me.
It's so funny because like in a previous episode, you made fun of those people.
I know.
And now I'm weeks ago. So wow, times have changed.
I am one of those people. And we went to 4 different stores to look for these deer today that I wanted to put in the front lawn to complement my Christmas lights on the house. And people were walking by and I could definitely feel the judgment coming because who the freak puts up their Christmas lights before Thanksgiving?
No,
And
everyone.
I did.
No, so many people do.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes me feel
to be a household that does.
that makes me feel better.
Yeah, you're listening. He is very big into Halloween, and so he tries to keep the Halloween lights up until I think it's like the day after Thanksgiving. And I'm like, I would really like to not do that anymore. So we just came up with a compromise yesterday.
When are you putting yours up?
So next weekend we're gonna switch out all the lights, but we won't do the tree until Black Friday. Which I feel is totally fine because I don't really care about the tree so much as like the orange pumpkin Halloween lights. And now we have purple lights and I'm like, that is clearly not even Christmas. Fall. Like, well, pumpkins are, but it's very Halloweeny. I'm like, I don't really want to do that.
I think we usually do our tree before Thanksgiving, like the day before Thanksgiving. So I have to do it before Thanksgiving Eve.
We're gonna have a lot of follow-ups after this comes out because it's only like a week away, but we don't
know.
But it'll be past Thanksgiving, so we'll have to give. Did Jess drink wine at 8 a.m.? You will absolutely have to take a picture of this.
I'm definitely going to drink wine at 8 a.m. no matter what.
But we need
photo proof. Yeah, it's just a decision of what wine we should drink. Because Mallory will definitely drink wine with me at 8 a.m.
So you would probably drink white at 8.
Yeah.
I feel like red would be maybe a little bold.
Yeah, I'm not a big red wine drinker.
Oh, at all?
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't like it.
Really?
Like the dryness. Yeah.
Oh, I love the dryness.
Really? I heard it's good for your heart, which I would drink it for that reason.
Somehow, I feel like somehow every single time we record an episode, we talk about how we try to like link the alcohol is healthy for you, and it's
It
just
is.
like, nah.
It's like a stress reliever for me.
Oh, also, very exciting that we now finally have our episodes on YouTube.
Yeah.
So exciting. And now you can actually like comment. So like the first couple of episodes, we were like, comment on blah blah blah. And there was like nowhere to do that. So definitely just go back and comment on all the ones previously.
It's really funny to watch
But
it back.
It's hilarious. And also the one episode that we talked about, if vodka sodas are hydrating.
They are.
My one friend from work was like, I almost like texted you, and then I felt that was not necessary, but they are indeed dehydrating. And I was like, yes. So I was right on that.
Well, then that means I'm gonna have to start drinking vodka waters because that is hydrating.
I still don't think that's right. I would say it's not as dehydrating as a vodka soda. It's also not as sweet as like a vodka Sprite, which is a vodka soda. Every time we talk about how we drink liquor, we really sound like we don't know what we're talking about. And that's because we don't, but we do enjoy drinking it. So that's all we know.
Yeah.
All we
that's
know.
all that matters.
All we know. Also, we just talking about follow-ups from other episodes. We did take polls during some of our episodes recently, and we just wanted to give some responses in case you guys like needed to know.
I do.
Because I did, and I love getting responses to polls. So we try to do them like what every episode.
I tried to Google how to do a poll one time, and then I got distracted. So
Googling
one
it.
day,
I'm not gonna lie, I just like looked and figured it out.
Instagram, I feel like it's
always
really changing.
That one's way more self-explanatory than some of the other stuff.
I've currently somehow linked my story sharing to Facebook. So if anybody knows how to stop
I do know how, because Mark
do?
does that too. And I told him it's a very simple button, and he's like, yeah, I just always forget. And every time he posts, which isn't that frequent, he's like, oh, because then like some random Facebook person will,
it's always
comment
like,
on it.
yeah, I have to figure that out.
Yeah. So we are recording this on a Sunday today, so we felt that this one was made sense to give you guys. But favorite Sunday fun day drinks. So what did we say ours were? But we had responses that said bloodies, 2 orange crushes, which
that's aggressive on a Sunday fun day.
Well, it depends on like the kind of Sunday fun day you want.
Yeah,
I liked those responses. It made me want to drink one.
I'm not big on Orange Crush.
Oh, see, I forgot about them a lot.
It's a lot of sugar and citrusy.
They remind me of college.
Head. Yeah. Anything with sugar in it, no.
Don't all the things have sugar in it that you drink other than the...
Yeah, but not that much sugar.
Well, yeah, true. And then our one good friend was like, sustainability is beer, but I always end up with gin or an espresso martini. Ooh. And then a good old response, all of them, which is great, which is so fun.
I always forget about espresso martinis.
And then also, well, I don't ever forget about them.
I know.
I just the last time I had one, I like knew it was at a place that was very well known for beer and not
the pumpkin one.
Yeah. Right? It was like a pumpkin espresso martini, and it sounded delicious, and it was like good, but I should have just gotten a beer there. I did also get a beer there, but I was like, oh, I don't want a second beer. Like, let me try this. It wasn't like disappointing. It just wasn't as good as some of like the other ones we've talked about.
I feel like once you've had a really, really good espresso martini, if you have a subpar one, it's not good. Although I've had ones lately where people have put in Baileys in it to make it super creamy.
That sounds so good.
It's almost too easy to drink. It's dangerous.
I mean, I think they're not hard to drink to begin with. Wow.
That's true.
We should do that one day.
Yeah.
Oh, also, when we like play back our episodes, because we recorded the first couple of episodes
like in the summer,
quite a long time before they were like posted, which was intentional. Just like, dude, we just forgot everything that we talked about. And talking about some of that stuff was so funny. And I just didn't remember anything that like
Every episode I just laughed.
at like how dumb but funny
No, how fun we are.
We are so funny.
We are.
But we talked about like all the different drinks in one of the episodes. Remember, you were like, we should drink all of them. And it was like the Rumplemans episode. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. But I do think we should maybe do that like around the holidays.
Drink Rumplemans?
No, not Rumplemans. No.
Well, if it's not
But,
Rumplemans,
like-
I don't want
But
it.
like have a
Shotsky.
Oh, a Shotsky would be fun. We should do that when we do like the original 4 Drunk Wives Club one.
Oh yeah.
That would be
I don't
fun.
even know where you get a Shotsky, to be honest.
You can buy it on bravo.com.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or Amazon or something.
Yeah,
I should.
But and then there was like a thing, I forget. My sister-in-law told me it was like a drinking thing where it's like a drinking segment. I don't know if it's like Truth or Drink or something like that.
Ooh.
So it was something like that. And she was like, you should do that too. So I feel like we will have like a drinking episode in like an actual drinking episode.
That makes me nervous because then I'm going to drink too much and have to make a lot of edits.
Oh, we'll do it. Yeah, we're not going to record one after we do it. Like it's only going to be
during.
Yeah. But it's also, we don't have to take like full shots of them. It's just literally like tasting some of them. Like when was the last time you had Rumpleman?
Probably
I
college.
know, I said this the last time too, or we could just like split it.
No, we're gonna go all in and do full shots.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. Then we would split it. Like
split the shot?
No, split it so that we can actually function and do like,
but I feel like
3.
that would be fun.
I mean, doing 3 shots in 45 minutes, like that's a lot.
Yeah, but we'll be fine. Well,
but that's my point. We can't do like 8.
Yeah, we'll do 3. That's easy.
I know, but then we would do if we want to do more than 3, we would do a second episode like that.
Yeah, but I don't.
Are you not picking up what I'm putting down?
I don't think I want more than 3 shots ever in my life.
What? Who are you? I don't understand.
I don't like shots anymore. They make me sick.
Okay, so then the other poll that we had, which somehow it is like totally not, it was just like something that we started talking about, which I totally forgot, like randomly when we recorded our third or fourth episode was hype songs. I totally forgot we talked about that. And that has now become one of my favorite parts of a podcast because it really brought me back.
Our song of what to open with and end with.
And then we never did it.
Yeah.
Which was also funny, but we didn't.
But so many people knew that freaking Nelly song. And I had never heard that in my whole life. Yeah, I reposted it and I got so many messages. Like,
because no one from
a lot of my friends were like, how did you not know that song? And I was like, well, one, I wasn't listening to trap music when I was 14 years old.
The fact that came out in 2004, we're talking about the Nelly, I think it was called like Heart of a Champion or something song. And I like randomly mentioned that in the episode, and a lot of the songs in the episode, like I didn't particularly want to post because they're pretty like inappropriate and say a lot of
Birdman is still in jail though.
Birdman is still in jail. And so that's like why I posted that one. And I had to look it up. I was like, all right, like what year is this from? 2004, which I should have known because it was a CD. I should have known it.
Why weren't you listening to like JoJo Get Out like the rest of us?
Oh, I was. I have a wide fan of music that I like. But yeah, so we put a poll out that said like what were your favorite hype songs in like the early 2010s? And we got some good ones. Timber by Pitbull, No Hands by Waka Flocka Flame and Roscoe Dash, which I played my freshman year all the time.
I always forget about that song.
Look, no hands. It's so good. And then Sammy Adams.
Ooh.
And then pretty much anything by Kesha. So like I posted it with TikTok because
Kesha's a classic. You can't go wrong. Although she sucks live. She's so auto-tuned.
Really? I remember that Missy and Lauren saw her and during college and like sent me a video and I was so jealous. I remember it. And then Party Rock Anthem by LMFAO. Oh, a good one that reminds me, nobody said this, but Shots, also by LMFAO. Shots.
Yeah, I
Shots,
guess you
Shots.
can't go wrong with that one.
And then Riding Solo, which I think is by Jason Derulo, Asher Roth, I Love College, and
Oh my
Monster.
God, I totally forgot about I
Yeah,
Love College.
I know. Monster by Lady Gaga. And yeah, those were just some of them.
I'm gonna have to make a playlist of 2010.
Well, that's the thing. That episode just came out like 5 days ago from when we're recording this, and I listened to like music from those years every
It's
day.
so much better than music now. Music now.
Skrillex, though, that was such a good one, Jess. I listened to Skrillex for like 3 days.
A lot of freaking TikTokers now, they just freaking remix the songs from back then.
I know.
I was like, there's no actual new music.
I know. Do you remember Danity Kane?
Yes, from Let's Make a Band or something.
Yes. So
that girl looks weird as shit now.
Oh,
what's her name? Aubrey. She looks
yeah.
like a plastic doll.
I know. There's like a lot of like theories on that, but I couldn't Showstopper, but oh my gosh, is anybody listening? It was one of their bonus tracks on one of their. I'm gonna play it for
Is
you after
anybody
this.
listening?
That's what it's called. Is anybody listening by Danity Kane? And it's like just so good. It's so good. And I listened to it every day on the way to work this week, and I was like, I just miss the music from this time frame. It's crazy.
Where's P. Diddy these days? He needs to come back and make another band.
I know. That was like a very controversial show though. Like,
was it?
After I think like knowing things, like we didn't know that obviously when we were watching it, but
it reminds me of Pimp My Ride too.
Oh, Pimp My Ride is so great. I was just talking to somebody about that recently. What a great show. If you could pick the most neon zebra print like things and put it in a car and be like, Pimp My Ride, this is great. They would put ginormous sound systems in the trunk of a car.
And the TV from back then, sometimes I watch like really old episodes. I'm like, I cannot believe this was allowed to be aired.
Do you
on
remember
TV.
Room Raiders?
Yes, and Laguna Beach when Stephen Coletti called Kristen a bitch when they were in Cabo and a slut. I was like, that could never be aired on TV today.
And also just like the amount, like Room Raiders. Did you ever watch that? Where you allow people to go in your room and they film it so they see all your personal stuff. I'm like, they would never let you do that now. I loved it. You got kidnapped in a van. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I want to watch like all those shows again. Do you remember Next?
Oh, I love Next.
Those shows that you watch at like 2 a.m. when you're not supposed to be at like.
They should replay them TV. On freaking MTV because MTV is all like the freaking comedy shit. That's not even funny anymore.
It's also the Rob Dyrdek show.
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about.
Ridiculousness. And it's literally the only thing that's on that channel now. I don't understand.
And I can't stand that blonde girl with the laugh.
I don't know her name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and I don't even think that show's that funny.
I don't watch it.
It reminds me of
not my vibe.
That one show that was on E that they always had funny videos.
Oh, The Soup?
Yeah, I love The Soup.
See, so many good shows out there.
They need to bring back old school MTV. Bring back TRL. I'll watch it.
I would watch it. I would.
Because nobody watches music.
Yeah, but nobody even really does. Like music videos were such a big thing. Anyway, it was just really brought me back. Those hype songs stuff.
Back Room Raiders.
When I thought 2004, I was like, oh my gosh, wow. Like, you're right though. What was I listening to?
Wow, that was 19 years ago. Ew.
That is really crazy. And I said 2004 and didn't realize that. So
I'm upset.
Thank you so much. It's almost 20 years at this point.
I cannot wait until our 25th year high school reunion because somebody did not plan our last reunion. Scott Simpson, Shannon's brother, did not plan it, but I will give him a pass and just prepare for the next one. Please don't
prepare for the next one. For when? How long?
The 25th.
Yeah, but what year are we doing that?
I don't know.
I'm not good at that.
I have to get out my calculator, but I'm not because that's embarrassing. So, Scott, I know you're listening. Please start planning now. We'll help you.
He's gonna be like, I'm not doing
He's gonna be
it.
like, screw that. I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing that. But okay, guys, I think that's all for today. Thank you so much for listening. We're gonna go open another high noon. Please rate, review, subscribe, comment on anything that you want to hear that we haven't touched upon yet.
Yeah.
And
We'll talk about it.
tap in next week.
Bye.
Bye.